So I bought a 2021 exhaust from a crash damaged bike that had done 800 and something mile. Removed the crash damaged section, which you can see where it's ground through it as it slid up the road. Also pulled the side off the can and had a look what was inside it, and saw what baffles were in it. After that point decided I was going to remove them all, remove the cat and straight pipe it. Comes up here, into the cat, out of there, back into there, out of that tube under there, round here, into here, back through there, and out there. How restrictive is that? Knocked all the guts out of the pipe now. Cat's in there, so we look on this way, down into there. Up there I was lucky because there was crash damage here, so I had to remove that anyway, so I can smash that cat out now, decat it, and then I'm going to make a better position for this. Then I'm going to make a link pipe, goes from there to up in there. Just going to have a link pipe, serrated pipe from there down to here. This little one's going to go, and we're going to have a bigger outer pipe, and then this is going to be filled with exhaust, and it's just going to be like a race can, give or take. So plan is now to rebuild this. Going to repair this piece in here, just make that look back as though it wasn't damaged in the first place. Just join the welds, you'll never know. Got a bit of tin up here for that. Then inside here we're going to have, this is 2-inch, so we're going to have this in here, weld it on the end of there like so. Get it on, weld that into the end of there like so. And then what we've got is we've got a 25mm perforated tube that we're going to weld into this, taper this down, weld that into it, and have a 25mm perforated tube up to here. Then we're going to have this piece, but we've got a new bit coming. That's going to go in there, and we're going to make this outer the same size as that piece, because at the minute it goes down there, down here, through there, shrinks by about 30% when it comes out the exhaust. We're going to make this bigger, so it's the same size as well. So it's going to be like a straight through race can, but look totally standard. Once we've got all the perforated pipe inside it, we're going to wrap it with just standard exhaust wadding, some more of that coming, and then weld this cover back on over the top, paint it all. You'll never know it's been inside, it'll look standard from the outside, and then we'll put it on the bike. That took some dremeling out with die grinder, took a bit of effort, but we've got it there. Pipe now fits into it, it's lovely and round. Put the end cap on here, which is in there. That's going to go on there next, so I can work out what angle to cut that at. That's going to get welded up in there, and then this is going to get welded around the end of here, and then put the packing in, which is up over there. Put the packing in, wrap it up, put this top plate back on, dress all the welds off, paint it, and it'll look like it's never been opened before. Pipe's welded in. He's underneath the window. So to put the wadding in, I'm basically strip up in there, cut to shape so it tapered up, and I've stuffed it up. Because the pipe goes now here, I've put some in there and I'm just rolling it around the pipe and feeding it in. So as it goes in, I'm just rolling it around, and I'm going to get a big sheet, fill all of that up, weld this plate on. Finished all the welding, got it all braced off, cleaned it all down with panel wipe. I've gone over it with some 400 grit to scuff it up, and just going to tape the lambda sensor up, tape the end of that up, and then spray it up with some of this stuff, see how it fares up, let it cure for a couple of days, and then get it on the bike. And the plan is I'm going to dyno the bike with the standard system on, see what it's doing, see what the fueling's like, and then I'm going to chuck this straight on, dyno it with this on, see what the fueling's like with this, see what alters the power level, the torque level, and see what it does with the fueling. Gotta love the auto stop start. It's a bit more, yeah. I'll do it with the camera on. Nah, can turn it off. There we go. That's hot in there, like. The bike under 5,500 RPM made quite a bit more torque and horsepower as a side effect of making the torque, and it tailed off more towards the 6,000 RPM mark. Once it got past 8,000 RPM, so from 6,000 RPM to 8,000 RPM, it was very level. And at this point during the bike's operation, from 6,000 to 8,000 RPM, basically what it's doing in that rev range is operating the CVT, and the CVT is altering the tension on the pulleys, and that's happening. Once it gets to 8,000 RPM, the bike's then starting to rev. It's at maximum gearing on the pulley, the bike's starting to rev, and it's the final drive ratio of gearing that's then into effect. The bike was then pulling another 1 horsepower. The most we got was 1 bhp. We were consistently getting half to 3/4 of a horsepower every dyno pull above 8,000 RPM. So the bike made good power low down initially and then top end. So with lighter variator pulley lighter variator rollers, it would allow it just to rev that a little bit higher earlier to get the load on. It would probably accelerate even faster. But looking at the acceleration chart, the bike consistently accelerated on the dyno slightly harder all the way through up to 68 mile an hour was the maximum when the rev limiter kicked in. So it has made it more power. It hasn't done it across the entire rev range. There's 2000 RPM flat spot in the middle. Whether we could adjust that with fueling maybe in the future. We're going to put slightly lighter variators in, put it back on the dyno and see what happens in the future. And we're going to look at seeing if we can alter the fueling, because at the minute it's currently running the standard system on the standard lambda sensor, so it's just fueling the bike accordingly. So if we can block off the inlet or the air induction system that the Honda incorporate in all the bikes, the PAIR system, so we're just getting that. We can put a probe up the exhaust and see exactly what the fueling's doing, and we can fuel it accordingly as well. So that's the next sort of steps really, is slightly lighter variators, block off the induction system in the exhaust that Honda use, and then see what it's doing and see if we can get some sort of system, power commander, Bazaz or whatever it is, see if we can get a system like that. We'll piggyback ECU it and control the fueling and then get it fueled right as well.